Hey, good morning. Here we are again, continuing the Christ hymn in Philippians chapter 2. Today, verses 6 through 8. And what we're going to see is we had learned, remember verses 5 and the first half of 6, that have this mind among yourselves, which is yours in Christ Jesus. That's talking about the attitude of Christ. Then we learned verse 6, the first half, who, that's Christ, though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped or held onto. And that second half begins this like 5 steps down from glory that Jesus takes. Listen to it. Who, though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with the God as a thing to be held on to, but emptied himself by taking on the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men, being found in human form, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross. So here's, friends, what I want you to think about, what I want you to see. There's 5 steps that Jesus takes down from his place in glory, right? So first it says that he gave up his recognition as God, that he did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped. Instead, he emptied himself, and then he took on the form of a servant. He was born in the likeness of man. And then 5th, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to death, even death on the cross. A few things I want you to look at. 3 times Paul uses the word form. And it's all the same idea. He's the form of God, the form of a servant, the form of man. And what I want you to think about is, what does that mean for us? Like, why is it important for us to understand that Jesus is the form of God and the form of man and the form of a servant? Like, he expresses himself this way. God the Son expressed as a human. Why does that matter? And I want you to think about that first. Why does that matter? Second, which of these steps down, maybe if this is the mind of Christ, do you need to work on most? Right? Because we should have the mind of Christ. And the 5 steps down, he gave up his recognition. He emptied himself. He took on the form of a servant. He was born in the likeness of men. And 5th, in humility, he died for sinners. Which of those do you need to work on most to be more like Jesus Christ?